Hey fellow gamers, Chatty Sisa here. The Game Awards 2025 have presented, amongst other things, the already highly anticipated game trailer for Archetype Entertainment's new game Exodus. And the reception online so far has been, let's say mixed. While most gamers say that they are still looking forward to the game just as much as I still do, there have been a few details that are causing some stir. For me personally, this trailer also brought a new idea on who the mysterious CC Orlev might be. But let me go into more details here in this vid. So in this new trailer, which is called The Rise of June Aslan, we have seen a lot of the reused materials from the first trailer, but there were also some new things and some new stuff. The trailer was supposed to mainly introduce more the main character, and we have clearly heard the words
"Fulfill the purpose for which you were crafted,"
which gives us hints about June's background. I usually don't mind this The Chosen One arc, even though it's been overused lately in the past few years, but if it's done well, and it is, by the way, also part of the book story as far as I remember. But the writing here in the game, in some of the dialogue, seems a bit off. It's a bit too on the nose, if you know what I mean. It's not a part of telling him that he was created, but these reactions of his companions. Although it could be just, let's say, a wrong impression I've got from just the parts that were ripped from the game without any context, so this might simply be the wrong parts to give me the wrong impression. I don't know. Who knows? Regarding the characters' looks that have been already pointed out by some viewers as well. For me, it's the weird eyes, honestly, and the characters are a touch cartoonish, for a lack of a better word, which gives me an unsettling feeling, and yes, Veilguard vibes, unfortunately. Not in the same extent, of course, but the negative undertones are definitely there. I've noticed that the characters changing slightly from trailer to trailer, so the question is into what direction this will continue. This isn't anything new, of course, with faces changing from trailers over the span of the time between the first one and until the final version we see then in the game, but so far it's been going in the wrong direction. Okay, I have to admit, maybe aside from Elise, that's the lady with the awful pink bowl cut hair, which is now clearly changed and for the better, I have to say. But compare, for example, Tom from the first trailer with the current one. And I don't mean the aging part, it's the change in his facial structure and, yes, those weird eyes. This could be simply the art style of choice, so not hyper-realism, like for example in Death Stranding 2, which doesn't mean it's bad. Not everything needs to be extremely realistic, and if you remember, I also pointed out already on this channel that I don't care whether I can see each pore on a character's face or each leaf on a tree. Many games have way more cartoonish styles and they work. I'm not talking about anime or JRPGs here, okay? But with this art style you have to be careful in a mature RPG, as it can easily break the immersion from a serious story, and more so if you have romances in the game. That's mainly to do with the facial expressions, and those can be tricky to achieve here. We've also seen some changelings, and I did like their depiction really. There's a great variety of species that we can interact with, and I like this part and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, we've only seen a brief glimpse of McConaughey's character, so it's still not clear who he's supposed to be, although he doesn't seem to be the celestial companion who Gaming Birch thought could be him, meaning Emrys. And if you haven't seen Gaming Birch's Exodus vids, I would highly recommend those. You can also find a link in the description here below. After seeing this newest trailer, I have my own wild speculation here, because CC Orlev looks in that brief moment like a holographic projection. So maybe it's going to be just an interactive hologram or VI. Think of something like Avina from the Mass Effect Citadel, or for example the Prothean VI from Ilos. And maybe he's going to be able to reply to some questions and help you out with some additional information. Or it could be potentially a fully fledged AI that was created to outlast the generations. Which would technically also confirm this motto CC Orlev keeps repeating at the end of each of his little vids.
I am CC Orlev. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
So he would not be a celestial, neither would he age in the same sense or way as the other species do. He would just be here from the past. Created by whom is a good question then. He is stating celestials are the enemy of humanity, but this doesn't necessarily mean that he's originating from humans. It might as well be any other sufficiently advanced race who wanted to create a warning sort of for the others to be wary of celestials. Yes, I know technically they are all descendants of humans or human experiments or however you want to call the changelings, etc. But I'm seeing them within this universe already all as evolved to a point where they are representing their own species. And most are not fond of celestials due to how they've been created, treated and simply misused in the past. So if CC is a VI or an AI, then he will continue to remain unless the holo server or whatever is destroyed or out of power, which can technically take ages. So yes, he's most probably going to be here yesterday, today and tomorrow. Who knows? I mean, that's just a thought I have here. This was the first thing that I've had in my mind when I was seeing that short 1 second part where CC is visible, and I'm wondering if someone else had the same impression. I'm not fond of the octopus character Salt, to be honest. I might change my mind when the game is out, I'm not saying I don't, but it will depend heavily here for me a lot on the writing of this character. What I am looking forward to is that awakened wolf companion we've seen at June's side. The combat seems good with variable tools and weapons. We've seen this already in the previous trailer and got more info from the Q&As. And I'm wondering about how the in-game leveling, the item enhancements and inventory management will work. So I'm hoping for more info on this part in the future. There were also multiple new locations shown, which looked very interesting to me. The game is definitely visually impressive when it comes to environments, compared to the characters, as mentioned before, I have to say. So far, I can see definitely the Mass Effect influence here, mainly in those environments and the combat, which does look a lot like Andromeda, but that's just my general impression for the moment. The rest looks like a thing of its own, and I do appreciate that, as the game is clearly trying to distinguish itself from being a simple Mass Effect copy. The Exodus game is supposed to be released in early 2027, and I'll keep my eyes on the news here, mainly any new trailers and more from the gameplay. We haven't really seen, for example, that much of dialogues or choices, so I wonder how those are set up. Not sure what your impressions are from the trailer. I'm having some mixed feelings, to be honest. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just that some details seem to have changed a bit, and I'm not fond of all of those changes, let me put it this way. In general, the story and the Exodus universe are very interesting, and if the mentioned writing and the combat is great, then I'll probably not really bother wasting time on thinking about weird eyes, so time will tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of the changes between the trailers? What's your impression on the various characters, and what do you think? Who is this mysterious CC Orlev? I'm looking forward to reading your comments, and in the meantime, if you like this vid, don't forget to hit that like button and share it. It would be much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, stay tuned and game on!